2001 was a weird time for TV comedy. We were past the golden era of Seinfeld and not quite into the age of awkward mockumentary sitcoms and streaming darlings. Networks were still tossing big stars, high concepts, and some very questionable ideas at primetime in hopes of striking gold. This is a look back at the sitcoms of 2001 that flopped, fizzled, or were forgotten before the theme song even finished. Let's revisit the big stars who tried to lead new shows, the strange concepts that never landed, and the laugh tracks that couldn't save anyone. Number 7, Bob Patterson.
Would you look at the two of us together? It's like John Tesh took his nephew to the beach.
Fine. If it bothers you, I'll talk to the production guy. There's tricks they can do.
Tricks? What kind of tricks?
Tricks? I don't know. You saw The Matrix.
The Matrix? I don't want to jump over Tesh. I just don't want to look like I'm giving him a Lewinsky.
Jason Alexander was fresh off Seinfeld, which was probably the biggest sitcom of all time. So what did he do next? Well, he created, co-wrote, and starred in Bob Patterson, a sitcom where he plays America's number 3 self-help guru, because honestly, being number 1 would be way too unrealistic. Well, the problem was he wasn't playing George anymore, and the audience really wanted George. Instead, we got Bob, a deeply insecure man giving motivational speeches while dealing with personal issues.
Well, you're certainly in great shape for it. I assume it's from carrying those big jugs around all day.
Critics pounced, viewers bailed, and by episode 5, ABC had already hit the cancel button. Jason Alexander later admitted Bob Patterson tried too hard not to be George, and it backfired hard.
Oh, harder! Harder! Oh, that's good.
Oh, my God!
Number 6, Off Center.
They say I gotta be a man, and I'm halfway there, halfway there. They say I'm having too much fun, but I don't care, I don't care. This is the time, it's going fast. How much is too much, or not enough? There's so much stuff I don't know.
From the American Pie guys came this raunchy sitcom about two 20-something guys in a fancy New York City building. One's British, one's American, and both are clueless.
You're V, aren't you? Could I just say, the work that you did on the latest Gucci campaign, the one where you can just make out your nipple in silhouette, I thought it was brilliant.
Yes, that is my good nipple.
Don't be hard on that other nipple. They're both top drawer nipples.
Eddie K. Thomas, who you may recognize as Finch, plays Mike Platt. Sean McGuire plays Ewan Pierce, the British guy, and John Cho, you might recognize from Harold and Kumar, played Chow, a Vietnamese restaurant owner with a large porn collection.
Damn, oh boy. How you gonna work the pimp hand if the girlfriend is living with you?
I don't want to work the pimp hand. I don't know what the pimp hand is.
The show was nonstop bathroom humor, crude jokes, offensive gags, and of course cameos from various American Pie alum. It somehow got a second season, but season 2 was only 7 episodes. The series is funny if you go in knowing you're about to watch some nonsense. It's definitely not for everyone, but it's worth a watch to look back at the era. Number 5, Men, Women, and Dogs.
So, Michelle's having a little visit from Aunt Betty, huh?
What?
Aunt Betty. It's a euphemism for period.
Oh, don't you mean Aunt Flo?
Oh. I guess it's just that my Aunt Betty's always such a bitch. I just associate her.
This here is proof that the WB didn't always know what young people wanted. 4 guys hang out at the dog park and try to pick up women. And that's the show. That's it. You had Bill Bellamy, who was great on MTV and in small roles, but really didn't have the chops to carry a whole series.
But although, wait a minute. But you had sex with this woman, right?
Yes.
Because the way she wrote the review, it could actually be read 2 different ways. Well, listen. The dessert, though tasty, came too fast.
Or this, the portions, while advertised as large, were disappointingly small.
There is nothing wrong with my portions, okay?
And then the asparagus is limp.
The asparagus was crisp, okay? Very, very crisp.
They also had Danny Pino, Heather Stevens, and a cast of canines with more emotional range than any actor on screen.
Don't get your hopes up. I'm not dying. It's just my period.
It tried to be edgy and bro-centric, but came off dated and tone-deaf. One episode involved the guys pretending to be gay to meet women. Viewers rolled their eyes and the WB pulled the leash after 13 episodes, 4 of which never actually made it to air at all. Number 4, Some of My Best Friends. Based on a movie no one saw starring people no one remembered. Yet, Some of My Best Friends was CBS's attempt at a gay straight buddy comedy in 2001, loosely based on the indie film Kiss Me Guido, which I hate to admit, but I did watch on IFC a bunch of times back in the day. The setup, a macho Italian guy moves in with a gay writer because he thinks GWM stands for guy with money rather than gay white male while looking for apartments.
Your ad says gay white male seeks roommate. Who were you expecting to show up? Quarterback for the Mets?
You know, Frankie, I don't get this ad. GWM seeks roommate. What does GWM mean anyway?
Well, this is a pretty nice building. I'm thinking it means guy with money.
Starring Jason Bateman as the gay white male and Danny Nucci as the macho Italian guy. The show leaned heavily on stereotypes and sitcom tropes.
You notice anything weird about this place?
What do you mean?
Look at the stuff this guy's got. Poster of Yentl. Fiddler on the Roof CD on the coffee table. Autographed photo of Bette Midler. See where I'm going with this?
You think he's Jewish?
Totally.
But viewers didn't bite. Only 5 episodes aired before CBS decided it's time to move on. I actually enjoyed watching this series recently. It had a lot of funny moments, and Jason Bateman didn't play up the stereotypical gay character like you would see around this era. Bateman would recover in just a few years with Arrested Development, so silver lining. Number 3, Kristen. Kristen Chenoweth is a star. She's got a Tony, a powerhouse voice, and enough Southern sparkle to power an entire Hallmark lineup. So NBC decided to give her her own sitcom, Kristen. The premise? A sweet, God-fearing Oklahoma girl moves to New York City to work in theater. However, she lands a job through her church as a secretary for a sleazy, womanizing real estate tycoon. It's the classic fish out of water setup, but the tone was total whiplash. Was it a morality tale? A sex comedy? A Chenoweth showcase? Nobody knew, and least of all the writers.
Ziggy, it's over. Tommy? Cohibas. But they are illegal. And every time I buy a box, I'm hurting hard-working Americans who choose to do business within the law.
Honestly, going back and watching it today, it's really not that bad. I ended up watching the entire series right on YouTube, and the show did have some funny moments, but I can definitely see why it couldn't compete.
Kristen Yancey.
Uh-huh.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Right. I said thank you very much.
Mistake or intentional? You'll never know.
NBC aired 6 episodes and quietly buried the rest. Number 2, Emeril.
Is Emeril as nice as he seems?
Absolutely he is. As a matter of fact, I'd like to think of him as Martha Stewart with friends.
In the early 2000s, Emeril Lagasse was everywhere. He had his Food Network empire, catchphrases, branded cookware, and more charisma than 1,000 soufflés.
Oh, yeah, babe. Now we're gonna kick it up a notch and we're gonna add a little cayenne pepper, right? Bam! Just, oh!
So naturally, NBC asked, what if Emeril starred in a sitcom? And they answered their own question with Emeril, a show that blended cooking, comedy, and sitcom tropes like an overcooked gumbo. Emeril played a semi-fictionalized version of himself, a celebrity chef balancing his TV show, family, and public image. It had laugh tracks, sassy kids, and even sitcom royalty behind the scenes. Designing Women's Linda Bloodworth-Thomason produced it. But of course, Emeril wasn't an actor and audiences could tell. The jokes felt forced, the writing was stale, and Emeril's natural charm disappeared under layers of network cheese.
I mean, how did my explanation point shrivel into a question mark?
Whoa, sweetheart. That's just something that happens sometimes to men as they get older.
The supporting cast, though, was great. In particular, Lisa Ann Walter and Sherry Shepard.
All I'm saying is this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, you guys. You know, they canceled Bette Midler after only half a season. Half a season! So the least we can do is do it for Bette.
However, they couldn't save this show from absolute disaster. NBC aired 7 episodes before pulling the plug. And it's kind of funny because the pilot was rewritten and reshot twice before airing, and that's never really a good sign. Number 1, The Tick.
City! City! I am the Tick! And you have melted my heart. From this day forth, I will spread my buttery justice over your every nook and cranny. Hear me, O city, my city. Your toast will never go bare again.
Before superhero saturation, The Tick arrived with a bright blue suit and absurd deadpan humor. Patrick Warburton starred as the do-gooding doofus in this live-action take on the animated cult favorite. Critics praised the show's weird charm and its subversive take on comic book tropes.
Easter Bunny can't fly.
Well, I can. I haven't yet, but all I have to do is go to the top of a building and jump off.
Go ahead. Who cares?
I'm gonna do it tonight.
I think he's gonna fall down a lot and die.
The show was great, but Fox didn't know what to do with it. They aired episodes out of order, barely promoted it, and canceled it after only 9 episodes. Funny enough, Warburton had more success immediately after Seinfeld than any of the main cast members.
High five.
A new live-action adaptation of The Tick premiered on Amazon Prime in 2016, with Warburton serving as a producer. Despite its short run, The Tick still has a loyal fan base and helps cement Warburton's legacy as one of TV's most distinctive comedic voices. So there you have it. 2001 gave us a batch of sitcoms that crashed and burned. Some quietly, others spectacularly. Big stars tried to break out, networks tried to catch trends, and audiences said, no thanks. Drop a comment with the one that you remember or can't believe existed. And if you want more deep dives into forgotten TV relics, like and subscribe for the next round, because 2002 is just around the corner.